Good afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome along to your afternoon Rabble here on the Rangers Rabble podcast. My name's Martin. I'm your host, and I am joined today by Alan. Alan, how are you?
Hi everyone. Aye, all right, Martin. Aye, how's yourself?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. We're going to see the grumpy Alan again, aren't we?
Are we? You tell me.
Well, see, if we had got a result against Hibs, you would have been the overjoyed Alan.
Oh, nah, forgot about it now. Moving on. That's old. That's chip paper stuff, isn't it now?
Oh, God. We probably will discuss that. We'll discuss many other things. We've got the question of the day coming up as well. And the Who Am I today, by the way, which I don't think anybody's going to get. I really, really don't think anybody's going to get. But Alan, how are you? How's things? What's happening?
Aye, all right. Aye, plugging away. Tuesday. Feels like it's been a long week already. Aye, just roll on the weekend.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The weekends just all seem to roll into one for me.
Aye, every day's your weekend.
I know. I might go and get a wee haircut today. I think there's nothing I can do with this.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing. And the fact that I've shaved, I think's made it look worse.
All the attention is drawn to the top of the head now, isn't it?
Yes, it's actually made it worse.
Could be worse.
I know. I was going to say.
Do you know what? Do you know what I meant to say? It could be worse because I was watching the first Rabble yesterday. And listen, that was bad. That was bad, mate. That don't ever go back. Don't ever grow that hair that long again.
Oh, it was like right down here, wasn't it, and right over here.
You were going for a Claudia Winkleman fringe almost, weren't you?
I know. Yeah, I can. We can't. There's so many things we can't actually discuss. About Claudia Winkleman. It's impossible. Impossible. Make Martin, I mean, they've misspelled gorgeous, right? But make Martin gorgeous again. Buy razors, shave your head, it's cheaper. Get a buzz cut. Yeah. And yeah, Lyndon, I agree with you about Claudia Winkleman, but I can't say that on here. I mean, it's only 12:30.
Too early.
The barbers look at me and go, sorry, mate, we don't have all day. But listen, folks, it's time for this.
It's the question of the day. If you love a good question, then we're coming your way with the question of the day. Question of the day.
By the way, one of my favourite movies, not There's Something About Martin, because that's not actually a movie, but There's Something About Mary.
Yeah. You're going for that hairdo, aren't you?
You know, first time I was ever introduced to Lee Evans as well.
Aye, funny, aye.
Yeah, in that film. Yeah. I don't know who's doing the comments for the Rabble, but they're taking the piss. Whoever's doing the comments for the Rabble. Yeah, I don't know who's producing the show. But yeah, right. So the question of the day today, because my daughter's getting to that age now, she's 10, right? And we've done all the watching Disney movies, and she's past that now, right, Alan? She's into her Minecraft, and she's into her American YouTube, and her phone, and her tablet, and all that. Right? So my question of the day today is, thinking back when I was thinking about it, what's the greatest Disney movie of all time? Now you've got 17 daughters, so
I get 3. Oh, I get 3. I don't know.
Now, I'm thinking back when I was growing up, right? And you're a wee bit older than me, so I mean, I loved the Jungle Book. I loved the Jungle Book. I loved Aladdin, but the old style movies,
the drawings, aye.
Yes, that was my favourite.
Do you know what? I don't know. I mean, see, to be honest with you, I watched the Disney things when I was wee, but I've obviously watched a lot more of them now that I've got my 3 daughters. But I don't know. See, the thing is, I get confused because obviously you've got Toy Story and that, but that's not Disney. It's Pixar. They all just sort of bleed into one for that type of thing. I don't know. Probably one of the most famous ones is, I don't know, Little Mermaid. My wife loves The Little Mermaid. Daughters love The Little Mermaid. I don't know, what was Moana? Was Moana Disney?
I don't think so.
See, I thought Moana was probably one of the best. Obviously, you've got Frozen. That's Disney, isn't it?
I think so,
See, I can
actually.
see.
I should probably know what's Disney and what's not when I ask the question.
But see for kids ones, that's what I'm saying. They all blend into one for me. All these kids movies. But don't get me wrong, you can sit down and you can really enjoy them. I mean, I remember watching Toy Story 3, and I'm not going to give away the ending, but I was actually slack jawed at the ending of Toy Story 3. I thought, oh, they're not going to do this to kids movie, are they? But some of them some of them are really good. Obviously, it's not Disney. We're segueing off onto Pixar now, but I like the Toy Story films.
What about the Mighty Ducks?
It's an old one now, isn't it?
But
Is
it
that
doesn't
a
matter.
Disney film? Is that a Disney film?
Well, multiple man usually gets everything right and like straight away. So
Yeah, he will be right. Aye, he will be right.
he's
Alan
never
looks
wrong.
like
He's never
Dumbo.
wrong.
These years are fine. But Dumbo as well. But see, the thing is that's what you're saying earlier on, Martin. It's like they make the cartoons and then they make the live action things, and they're just rotten compared to the cartoons, aren't they? I mean, they've made a live action Dumbo, they're making live action Jungle Books and live action. What else have they done? Little Mermaids and things like that. They just ruin it.
Winnie the Pooh is Disney, isn't it?
See, that's the thing. I mean, Disney technically owns Marvel superheroes now as well, so it's like they own everything.
Yeah, but we don't class that. But we don't class that.
No, it's Disney. They own everything. You know what I mean? They spent, I think, was it 66 billion or something buying 20th Century Fox. So they own all those properties as well.
Did they buy Star Wars as well?
Aye, of George Lucas. Aye, I think
They
there's
bought Star
billions as
Wars.
well. Aye, they're just milking that for every cent they can get now. Star Wars as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
I watch some of them, but some of them it's like, oh my god, they're scratching at straws.
Here's one of my personal favourites that I used to watch all the time when I was away. 101 Dalmatians.
Dalmatians, aye. See, I was more. Don't get me wrong, I like cartoons, but when I was growing up, it was more like obviously we're a wee bit different in age, but I used to love watching Ghostbusters, one of my favourite films.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Futures, Indiana Jones. That's just what I grew up on.
But are they Disney?
No, they're not Disney. I know, but that's what we're saying now.
The question is, what's the greatest Disney film of all time?
I said The Little Mermaid, right? I said that. Lady and the Tramp.
Yes, 100%. Snow White. I don't even think you're allowed to say that full title anymore.
Well, they're remaking that one as well. Have you seen that? They're making a live action one, and the actress, what's her name, Rachel Ziegler, doesn't really look like Snow White. So,
what's it going to be? Snow White and the 7 people who are slightly below average height? Is that what they're going to call?
I heard that they'd hired actors that were like 6 foot and all that sort of stuff. They weren't dwarfs or little people, however we want to say their names now. But now they've made CGI dwarfs because it was getting a bit bashed online because they weren't actually proper dwarfs or little people. Let's just be politically correct, Martin.
I don't even know what the politically correct term is.
I know. But then you Peter Dinklage. I don't know if he's ever watched Game of Thrones, right? But he was actually saying that you shouldn't be hiring dwarfs or little people because it's derogatory to them, and he's like made a career being a little person. So it's like, even I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's all woke," and it ruins things for kids and all that. This woke nonsense as well. It's terrible.
It does. Here's a great film, by the way. All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah,
that's a great film. I mean, the dog does die, and I shouldn't tell her. I've spoiled the film.
Come on,
spoiled the film, but he does go to heaven. Oh, I've just spoiled that again.
Come on, Martin. That's terrible. You'll get yourself YouTube censored for that. You can't spoil the end of films.
Listen, you're getting us shut down for using the word dwarf, so don't you start.
Listen, my apologies if anyone's offended by the word that Martin just said.
I know, it's in the title. You know what I mean? People are getting, what are we talking about? He goes to heaven. Well, it's in the title. So, some other films, by the way, before we move on, Fantasia, Robin Hood, Aladdin, Bambi, I mean, the mum dies
Bambi.
though.
You're getting all the fucking films away.
I'm pretty sure most people have seen Bambi, for God's sake.
Maybe not. I loved Watership Down. Did you ever watch that when you were younger? With the rabbits?
No.
Oof. I remember watching that. It was quite traumatising for a kid because the rabbits went at each other. I mean, they were actually killing each other and ripping parts off them and all that sort of stuff. And it was a kid's film. That's one of the ones that sticks in my mind. It's been a kid cartoons. Old Yeller as well.
No wonder you're so damaged. The Lion King, like I say, Snow White and the Jungle Book. So there's loads and loads and loads to pick from.
There is, I know.
Scott's never seen Bambi.
There you go. And you've ruined the ending for poor Scott.
I don't believe it. I don't believe him. Everybody's seen Bambi.
An American Tale. That's a good one as well.
What's the last film, Alan, that you cried at?
Oh. I don't know. Sometimes I can get quite emotional watching some films. I don't know. Probably, I don't. It's the only one that sticks in my mind was A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper. Man, that got me quite in the chills. You know, seeing it. I don't want to tell you anything about it, but I don't know. I watch quite a lot of films and get quite emotional with some scenes.
Do you know what film gets me every single time, regardless of how many times I watch it? The Green Mile.
Aye, that's one of your favourite films. You absolutely love that film. I know. That's good cinema, isn't it? See if you watch a film and it does make you feel an emotional connection to it. That's brilliant.
Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch, loved that film when I was growing up. That was one of the ones I remember being on the TV all the time. That was a sad ending, but obviously not ruin it.
John Coffey. Listen, Fall Victim. What have I tuned into? This is the afternoon Rabble, my friend. This is 15 minutes of absolute nonsense followed by 15 minutes of absolute nonsense talking about Rangers. So it's 30 minutes of just absolute nonsense.
Guys, real men cry, well done.
Yes, real men do cry. Real men do cry. Yeah. Right, today's Who Am I, folks? I don't think anybody's going to get this. Right? Wait a minute. How can they make a Green Mile 2?
They milk anything.
No, you can't make Green Mile 2. That's no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, well, they're also remaking American Psycho. I don't know if you've heard that.
American Psycho. They can't remake that. Man.
No, it's 100% getting remade. The guy that played Elvis, Austin Butler, he's Patrick Bateman. So they're remaking American Psycho. I really don't know why.
I mean, I forget the guy's name, but he done Batman, didn't he?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Like, ridiculously, by the way. He's such a good actor.
I know he is. And you've not even seen the Batman films, an absolute hypocrite.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you can say the club's in crisis, right? You can say that we might not have any money for transfers, right? But you cannot say that you do not agree that all dogs go to heaven. You can't. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Everybody cries that all dogs go to heaven. So yeah. But listen, folks, today's Who Am I, right? If anybody gets this, I'll be really, really impressed because I'm going to make this as difficult as humanly possible, right? So, I only played in 2 countries my whole career. One of them being England, where I spent 99.9% of my career. I made over 290 Premier League appearances, scoring less than 50 goals. My goal record in the Champions League was much better. The club that I am most known for playing for, I'm no telling you, because then you'll get it. But I did start my career in 2017. Amazingly, I made less than 15. I'm not going to give you the actual number. I made less than 15 appearances for my country. Do you get any of that, Al?
No. I thought maybe a couple of names popped in, but then when you said 2017, started his career in 2017. So somebody
No. Started his career in 2000, not 2017. I don't know why I said 2017. Apologies, folks. Started my career in 2000. My apologies.
Right. So you're making the who am I even more difficult by changing the. You're just making stuff up. That's what you had me. I thought 2017. If they retired by now, it's like
Jeez,
I still don't know.
No, my apologies. I started my career in 2000. I spent the majority of my career in England, and I played in one other country. I made over 290 Premier League appearances, scoring less than 50 goals. I had quite a decent goal record in the Champions League. I have also played in the Championship, League One, and League Two. I'll give you that clue. I have appeared at a World Cup for my country, but I have amazingly played less than 15 games for my country. So I will give you another clue because that's quite difficult later on. I will give you another clue in a wee bit.
Yeah.
If anybody can get it for that, especially considering that I gave you the wrong year to start with, if anybody can get it for that, is it a Rangers player today or outside Rangers? Because Rangers have never played in England, but I didn't tell you the other country. Actually, multiple man. That's a good shout. But no Rangers playing. No Rangers player today. Stop, Martin. The comments will turn against you. I will tell you it's a striker. It is a striker.
Striker.
Yeah, I'll give you that clue as well. It's a striker. So, there we go. Less than 50 Premier League goals. So, there we go. Right, Alan, I'm the fate of the rest of the afternoon rabble lies at your feet, my friend.
Oh, does it?
It really does. It really does.
Get that on my feet.
I'm looking, Alan, for some positives that we can talk about Rangers right now.
Positives?
Yes. I can think of one, but it's pretty obvious. But where do we go from here? Where's the positives at Rangers right now?
Positives are, I would say, January, isn't it? Transfer window's open, so we can hopefully get some reinforcements in. That's the only sort of positive I can think of so far. Defence needs sorted out. Probably maybe not everybody would agree with it, but if we're looking to get some cash, I would be seeing if we can sell Dessers. Maybe get a couple of £1 million for him. Don't know if anybody else is of the same opinion of me, but that's positives. You can't really be positive. You can be positive for a week, Rangers, and then you're back to being negative again. So I honestly don't know. What was your positive? Martin's positive is drinking a can of cola. Is it Coke Zero or full fat cola?
It's Coke Zero. Did you have to ask me about right as I took a sip?
You should give him a hand signal or something.
Oh, I gave you more than a hand signal. I gave you the can of Coke signal.
I know, but you cut the screen to me and I saw my big ball face on it and I've started waffling.
I wish it was Roller Cola. It's not Roller Cola. Listen, you mentioned there about selling players and stuff. On a serious note, Lyndon, it's zero sugar juice. I'm still here. You mentioned Dessers here on a serious note. We're talking about
serious,
we need to sell, etc. How on earth, with Dessers' performances, do you find a buyer?
Well, he has had people sniffing about him. He has, he has had offers in the summer to go to America. He might turn around and say, well, I didn't want to go, but obviously he's right down the pecking order now. I mean, realistically, he's third choice striker. So we don't need him. I personally don't think we might. If something happens to Dessers and Eggman, we might end up. I might end up falling on my sword saying that words. But if we're going to try and get some money, and we're obviously not rolling in it, I think we should be trying to get him sold. Obviously, we bought him for what was it, $4.5 million or something. And there's Jock Blue, Dessers scoring history is decent. So, I mean, you can actually look at his stats and say that his figures are okay. I mean, if somebody's looking at his goal scoring record, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, when we were signing Dessers, I didn't think he had a good goal scoring record. And we spent £4.5 million on him. So, others might look at his goal scoring record being better for us than get a couple of £1 million. I mean, he's what, 30? So, the time to cash in on him is probably pretty imminent if we're not going to play him. I don't know what you think yourself, Martin.
Is it not the same, but with quite the vast majority of our players, that the level that they can go to from us because of performances, not just goals, but performances, is a little bit below what a team's willing to pay in wages. And we pay our players a ridiculous wage, Alan.
Yep. Is it one of these things, though? A lot of football players, would they be happy? I mean, Dessers maybe on, 25 grand, so would they be happy going to another team and getting 20 grand and he's a first choice number 9? I don't know. That's. I mean, we're just small people in the sea of Rangers Ocean, aren't we? It's the ones at the top that need to decide, or it's Clement if he's actually willing to let Dessers go. But if I was Dessers, I wouldn't be happy playing third string now for a. But then again, you do have Europe, don't you? And then Danilo's no available for Europe. So, but at the end of the day, back to the start of the question, Martin. Positives. It is January, so I think we all like this transfer windows, but we should really be starting to get some wheels in motion here to get somebody sorted for the summer. Yep, agreeing with Jock Blue again. Yep, we should be selling Dessers down. There's no more.
Who's buying them? Who's buying them?
I know. Is it maybe going to be one of these things we need to sell a low ball offer? I mean, we sold all those players for 800 grand. Let them go for 100 grand or something. Because we can't keep these players on the books. He's a high earner as well.
Yeah, well, it's the wages that kill us for me. In order to try and sell players. But listen, there was one kind of positive that flew up for me from the whole transfer window thing. And it's something I would be very interested in Rangers to do. I just don't know if Philip Clement will. The fact that Philip Clement's still here, Alan, is another story. But Johnny Evans has been mentioned. Now, yes, you got what is Johnny Evans, 77? Something like
78.
that. Still getting the odd game for Manchester United, but not that that's really saying much nowadays. But playing at a high level in the English Premier League, I would jump at the chance for Rangers to bring Johnny Evans to Ibrox.
Yeah. Don't see why we wouldn't be for it. Obviously, the only stumbling block would be the wages as well, Martin. I mean, we don't, depend on how long realistically, what age is he? Is he like 36 or something? Is he that old?
He's old, he's old.
I mean, see, at the end of the day, the way we're going right now, to plug some gaps the way until the end of the season, I would say, aye, why not have him? An experienced player, that's what we're sort of looking for, isn't it? I mean, there's. Come on, you Jock Blue, you got to say something. I'm going to disagree with you. Portis, I don't know. He obviously he's a bit of a loose cannon, but it can be decent on his day. We need that. That's obviously one of the main things I think we should really be prioritising now is the defence, because it's. I mean, our issue was at the start we weren't scoring goals and the defence was sort of all right. Now it's vice versa. We're scoring goals and the defence is hopeless. Obviously, we've got Proper. What we're going to do with Proper? We're going to try and punt him back to Holland again. At the end of the day, we've got rid of Davies. Davies on loan. We've got Suter. Anybody know when Suter's actually coming back?
No, but listen, I'm taking a bit of hammering, right, in the old comments here, right? I think it's because none of them yet have managed to get the Who Am I, and it's killing them, right? I think that's what's really doing their nutting is that they can't get the Who Am I, right? I'm going to give you another clue in a wee minute, right? But Evans, remember Clint Hill? For me, Johnny Evans is a far superior defender to Clint Hill. Where else is the other? Where's the other? I can't find them now. Oh dear, Martin. There we go. Stuart Balmer, channel member. Oh dear, Martin. I'd jump at the chance. I would say no. I wouldn't have Evans. He's 37. Davy Weir came in at a fair age and done an absolutely brilliant job. And I think Evans would do a similar one, especially for a short period of time, because we need a defender now. Yeah,
and Balogun's 36 as well. So and he's shown his quality.
You could argue he's been our best defender.
Yeah, I mean, age to me, right now, the way the season's going, age isn't really. I would take somebody that's 40 that's decent. You know what I mean? If they're still playing at a high level, or they can play at a high level, I'd take somebody at 40. Obviously, I don't know any players off the top of my head that are 40 of defenders, but I would take somebody because the defence obviously needs sorted. There's no leadership in that back line either. Seasons, I'm a big fan of Suter. I like Suter, but we need somebody in. You know what I mean? We can't keep going. And Clement, when he came in, I don't know if you remember this, but when Clement came in, he was bashing the amount of injuries that Beale had. Remember? He was acting as if Beale was going about kneecapping players personally because he was on about they were injured so much. And then he's got the exact same thing. I mean, the defence is absolutely decimated. You know what I mean? I mean, Buckland having a bleed in his leg. I mean, how often do you hear about that for professional football players? You know what I mean? It's like turning into something like that. Usually it's a muscle, something like that, or a serious injury like that. But a bleed on his leg, that's just, we've just got no luck with that back line. But obviously with the way Kelly's been performing as well, Martin, we would want Buckland to come back in ASAP because everybody was clambering about giving Kelly a chance, and he has had his chance, and he came in and flapped like that, like a blooming seagull. You know what I mean? He just hopeless. He did though, didn't he? He was hopeless, not commanding in that box at all. That's something that goalkeepers can do. They can be good shot stoppers, but see if you're not going to command your box and come out and grab corners and stuff like that, and you know what I mean? This is my area. It's not as good. You know what I mean? You can save all the shots you want, but you know the way we concede goals at corners. Hopeless.
Yeah. Listen, just on the who am I, folks, right? I will tell you that if you use Wikipedia to check, it says that he's got more goals than what he actually does. I'm talking Premier League goals, right? And his Premier League tally is 43. He did play for England's under-21s, but then decided to go and play for Nigeria. Well, like I say, he made a ridiculously small amount of appearances, this man. Ridiculously small amount of appearances. I won't tell you any. As soon as I said Nigeria, Scott Kearney, obviously typing as I'm talking, put in Mark Viduka, which made me chuckle.
Yeah.
So I started my career in 2000. I played in both England and Turkey. Not making many appearances in Turkey, it has to be said. And I scored under 50 Premier League goals. And this is some of the comments. And 291 Premier League appearances. I also played in the Championship, League One and League Two. And I had a fairly decent record in the Champions League. So you've got a minute and a half to get your answer in. I've pretty much gave you the game, folks. If you can't get it in a minute and 20 seconds, then I'll be really disappointed in multiple man if he doesn't get it. Really disappointed in multiple man. While we are waiting with bated breath, Alan, because they've got a minute and 5 seconds left, I just want to touch on the major positive at the football club, to be honest with you, which is Hamza Igaman, Al. The boy has got something special. He has shown it. The fact that we had to rely on him to get us a fourth goal, never mind the hat-trick that he scored, says everything about the football club right now, is that he is a one-man team.
He is, I know. Sensational player, isn't he? You just wonder how we would have started the season if we'd actually just started playing him. You know, he's not ready. It's like, what do you mean he's not ready? That's the thing I don't get with Clement. It's like, he's not ready. It's like, so what sport did he play when he was playing in Morocco? Table tennis. He's a football player. You know what I mean? He's not ready. He's not ready to play what? Football. He's been doing that since he's a boy, kicking a ball in a net. I don't get all this crap that Clement comes out with, all these type of things. The boys
10 seconds on the who am I?
They came over, and I think he should have started playing for the start. Season could have been totally different. But then it's like, if you do get our players that are playing so well, is somebody going to come out and try and buy them?
I just want to say this, folks. It's not very often I win. So, see, when I do win, I'm going to gloat, right? because you should have got this. You should have got this. See if I says to you that one of the teams that this guy played for was Newcastle. Would anybody be any closer? Played for Newcastle. What have I told you, right? That he actually played for Newcastle twice. Would anybody get it if I told you that? I mean, it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now because I've clearly won. Any clues? Any guesses, Alan?
Alan Shearer. He was a good Nigerian player, wasn't he? The only player I can think of. Plays for Newcastle off the top of my head. Kidding on.
The answer is Shola Ameobi.
Multiple man. It was just a wee bit too late though, wasn't he?
Far too late. Far too late.
He still got it right.
I mean, he didn't spell it correctly, but Dougal got it as well. But no, nobody got it. Martin reveling in his win. You better believe that Martin is reveling in his win because that makes it a far more, as I just changed the scores here, folks, that makes it a far more respectable 16-40 the comments. See, when it's not a Rangers player, folks, you just don't have a clue, do you?
Oh, but this is the Rangers rabble, not the
I get that, Alan, but just let me have it, right? Let me have it.
Yeah, but obviously don't go out drinking celebrating, eh?
No, I wouldn't do that. Just before we go, we'll go back to what we're talking about in terms of Igaman. This boy, I don't know how long he's going to want to stay at the club if we continue to perform the way that we do. But he'd like you say, he looks happy. He's scoring goals, and this boy should make us a pretty penny.
Yeah. Well, obviously there was all the clamour about Morelos and sell him for 16 million and blah blah blah. I think, to be honest, pound for pound, Igaman is a much better player than Morelos. The guy plays with a smile on his face. He seems like he's a team player. You know what I mean? He's happy to be here. He's obviously not made any loud remarks, although he's just came here about wanting to play in another league or anything like that. The boy just seems happy to play his football. So, long may it continue. But if we didn't have this guy scoring the goals now, what sort of situation would we be in?
Can I just say, I've took a pounding, right, for this Who Am I? But Multiple Man is a gentleman. That was an excellent Who Am I? Absolute gentleman there. I think some of you watching could maybe take a wee bit from Multiple Man there. This Michael's going off his nut. This is nonsense. Random players get yes, official magical bite. I got Wayne Rooney in 1 second last time. Bring it on. You know what I mean? I only care about Rangers as well, Alan, but I also care about winning. So, and it's not changing the goalposts because, it's not changing the goalposts. These are just all raging. These are just all raging that Martin beat you because you all think he's smarter than me. And also on a very serious note, we mentioned to Brian Howe, aka Kelly Pie, who's an absolute Rabble legend. He went in for an operation today. His wife has put in the group chat it all went well and he's in recovery now. So definitely get well soon, Brian. And like I say, I'm glad to hear that it all went well, and I hope to see you back in the comments very, very soon. Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. If it's just Rangers players, then it's completely narrowing the playing field. Next, it's going to be somebody from Angola or something like that. I wish you could switch off Google for certain names. Yeah, listen, I'll change it to American football goalpost, Jordan, if it helps me win. I don't care, mate. I will win. But listen, folks, that is your afternoon rabble for today. We are back at 7:30 tonight for your, I say midweek members show. Is Tuesday really midweek? But we're just going to go with that anyway. We're going to go with it, right? I don't care what Alan says, we're going with it. Your midweek members show is on tonight. And then at 9:30 tonight for CEO and sponsorship tier members, we have a brand new FM24 playthrough that will be coming to you every week for CEO and sponsorship tier members. Alan, thank you very much.
Welcome. Always a pleasure.
Yes, and well done, Martin, for your win in the Who
Yeah,
Am I.
well done, Martin,
You're the greatest, Martin.
for
Yeah.
screwing the comments over and picking a super hard Newcastle player.
Well, do you know
Liverpool
what?
won tomorrow. Give him advance. It's a Liverpool player tomorrow.
It's a Liverpool player from
Or he plays in, he plays in Serie A.
1901. Yes.
1901.
Liverpool player, like you say, played in Serie A, never played in England, but he was a Liverpool player. Who am I? Yes.
There you go.
So there we go. Right, folks, listen, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for the support that you give us every day. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.
Cheer up, Alan. I've been smiling this whole bloody podcast. What does Donald want?
No, do you know what? Donald's right. Donald's
No,
right.
I'm not. See if you go back and watch this smile's no off my face.
Yes. Next player will be from Madagascar. Why not? I'm getting back into playing Football Manager now for the members. So why not? It'll be. I'm going to bring up some right random players now, by the way, and I hope you all enjoy, because it's going to get even more difficult. Soon it'll be Martin 16, comments 16. You'll be throwing stuff at your tellies and you'll be smashing your phones, and I'll just be sitting here laughing. But before I send anybody else away and never come back, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, folks. We shall speak very, very soon. Members, I'll see you tonight. The rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow, right here, 12:30.